All right. Welcome back to the Tul World Plus weekly episode. Now, we're still delving into the training secrets of Taekwondo, and one of them is to study the theory of power. Now, the theory of power is extensive, and we're just going to focus on two main parts of it, which is mass and speed. Now, before we get started on the video, and you want to grow yourself in Taekwondo, you can check out our Tul World Plus program using the discount code below at this website here to get a free month of Tul World Plus. In that, we go through specific patterns, techniques, theories, all broken up by the patterns. So let's jump into it.
Okay, there's a couple different elements in the theory of power in Taekwondo. And today we're going to just talk about speed and mass. And so, what is that all about? Well, General Che calls power as defined as 1/2 times mass times velocity squared. And so, when you start plugging in numbers, you can figure out how much power. Actually, in physics, I believe it's kinetic energy is what you're develop is what that is. Mass, that's how big you are. That's how, let's say Mr. Jew here is 150 pounds. That's your mass. But in Taekwondo, we also have other aspects in that. So we'll talk about mass a little bit. So let's take a look for an example. Let's have Mr. Jew. He's going to step forward, and he's going to step forward into right walking stance, offers for fist punch. So when he steps forward and he's attacking me, it kind of goes back to that concentration. Eyes, hands, beat, breath together at the same time. It's coming towards me, and he executes the technique. Go. All right, so his mass is moving forward. So you definitely get more power here. Now, if you go back to the parallel stance here, and he's not moving forward, and he just punches from there. Is it still 150 pounds of mass? That is the question, I would say. And I would say no. So obviously, a technique like from here would have less power than when he was stepping back, because when he was moving forward, he had more mass behind it. Now, so we take that example, and he's going to punch with his left hand. And so when we look at mass, go ahead and do the punch. Go. All right. So now he's doing something a little bit different. Is it the same amount of power as when he stepped forward and executing technique? I would say no, because he's not really utilizing his whole mass. If he was just a punch, just throw a punch, again. Now, what is moving is this arm. That's the only thing that's moving. So I would measure the mass of this arm to measure how much power he's generating. If he was stepping forward, obviously he's got that 150 pounds going forward. That would be the mass. Now, what he did previously was he did a sine wave. In other words, he went up and in one count. So now what he's doing is he's engaging the whole body. So now the whole body is creating a bigger mass. And is it as much power as moving forward? Probably not, but it's more mass than just moving the arms. Okay, now the other component of the theory of power is going to be speed, right? 1/2 times mass times velocity squared. Well, the velocity is actually the speed. And because it's velocity squared, it actually has a bigger impact on power than mass. Mass is important. The bigger you are, the more you can hit with more power. But really, speed is the key to real power. And so how do we develop that? Let's go back to the right walking stance, and you're going to step forward a punch there, Mr. G. So we can see this left arm. As he moves forward, he's got this mass coming towards me, but it's the speed that counts the most. And so when he shoots from here, there's another training secret, Taekwondo. All movements should have a slight backward motion. We talked about that a little bit. And what happens in that case is when he moves forward, he's actually going to pull that hand back a little bit. And this will help create that speed. So this hand's he's going to relax. He pulled that hand back. That kind of gives it a slingshot effect. And then he accelerates technique. So he has to whip the technique out. And at the moment of impact, it's reached its maximum power. Let's go back and take a look at that again. So speed is important, that it needs to accelerate. It's not just a constant speed. it has to accelerate. In other words, let's say he's stepping forward and punching, but it's a constant speed. Ready, go. There's not as much power. For a little child, he might be crying because of the body mass. He got hit by something, but it doesn't create that destructive power. So all techniques, when you want to destroy, you must accelerate. And this includes like blocking. If he was to do that again, if he was going to do a low side block with the outer forearm, he's going to relax and then he's got to wind up. So this is giving that slingshot effect and he's going to accelerate the hand and then it hits his target. A key component to speed is actually the rotation of the hand. So if we look at Mr. Ju, as he punches, he's got to rotate or twist it at the moment of impact. He's going to be fast. So that twisting motion helps with the acceleration of the technique. And again, the faster you can accelerate a technique, the more power you're going to get.
All right, thanks for jumping into another Tul World Plus weekly episode covering the training secrets of Taekwondo. This is just a little part of the theory of power. As always, don't forget to be safe, keep training. We'll see you guys next time. Taekwon.